Welcome to my channel Valuable Rare Coins because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First, we're talking about one of the most iconic and sought-after dimes in United States history, the 1942 Mercury dime. Now, before you go thinking this is just another small silver coin from the past, let me stop you right there. Because this particular coin, when it features certain rare characteristics, could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and you won't believe how much this little dime can sell for in today's market. The Mercury dime, officially known as the Winged Liberty Head dime, was minted from 1916 to 1945 and is one of the most beloved designs in all of U.S. coinage. It features a stunning depiction of Liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought, though most people still refer to her as Mercury due to her resemblance to the Roman god. The reverse side shows a fasces and olive branch, representing both strength and peace. The 1942 issue sits right in the middle of this classic series, and it's packed with historical meaning. Minted at the height of World War II, when the nation's spirit of resilience was stronger than ever. But here's where things get truly exciting. While millions of 1942 Mercury dimes were produced, a very limited number were struck with a rare and valuable error that turns this dime into a legendary collector's prize. This error is known as the 1942-1 overdate error, and it's one of the most famous errors in American numismatic history. What happened is that a die originally engraved with the year 1941 was mistakenly repunched with the new year 1942, and when it struck the coin, the overlap of both years became permanently visible. This wasn't just a light mark. On genuine examples, you can clearly see the number 1 underneath the 2 in the date. This overdate error exists for both the Philadelphia minted coins and the Denver minted ones, marked with a small D mint mark. The 1942/1 and 1942/1D Mercury dimes are highly desirable in any condition, but when found in high grades, especially mint state, they become some of the most valuable dimes ever sold. These errors weren't widespread. They were caught early in the minting process, but not before a handful of coins made it into circulation. That's why they're so rare and why collectors are constantly searching for them. Now you may be wondering how to identify this treasure. Well, it's not as difficult as you'd think. Start by looking closely at the date on your 1942 Mercury dime, and we mean really closely. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. On the overdate coins, you'll see a clear impression of the 1 beneath the 2. It looks almost like a shadow or an outline behind the second digit of the year. The Philadelphia version will not have a mint mark, while the Denver version will have a tiny D on the reverse, to the left of the fasces. If you spot this overlap, you may be holding one of the most valuable dimes in the world. Condition is everything when it comes to value. A Mercury dime with this error in circulated condition can still fetch thousands of dollars, but in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially those graded MS 65 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC, the value skyrockets. Collectors are obsessed with these coins, not just because of the error, but because they're from an era that captures the heart of American history. A flawless example with a clear overdate is like owning a piece of living numismatic legend, and don't forget, demand for these coins has only increased in recent years. Auction houses like Heritage and Stack's Bowers have featured these dimes in headline sales, where prices have blown past expectations. As more collectors enter the market and existing ones chase the elusive overdate, competition gets fiercer and the value continues to rise. It's not just a collectible, it's an investment, a historical artifact, and a symbol of how even the smallest coin can hold extraordinary worth. If you're already into coin collecting or just starting out, now's the time to go check your collection. Your grandparents' old coin jars, or even your recent flea market finds. The Mercury dime is small, but it carries one of the biggest secrets in U.S. coinage history. If you've got a 1942 Mercury dime, especially one that looks like it might have a shadowy or double date, get it checked immediately. It could be something truly special, and here's the big reveal. If you happen to find a 1942 Mercury dime with the rare overdate error, and it's in top-grade mint state condition with sharp details and full bands on the reverse, then you could be holding a coin that has sold for as much as $200,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. $200,000 for one dime. That's the power of rarity, history, and the love of collectors all wrapped into a tiny silver coin. So, what are you waiting for? Start digging through your old coins. Check every 1942 Mercury dime you come across, and who knows, your next great discovery might be worth more than you ever imagined. If you think you've found one or want help verifying what you have, drop a comment below and let us know. Second rare coin. We're talking about the 1894 S. Barber 1 dime, a coin so rare, so prized, and so wrapped in historical intrigue that it has become the holy grail for collectors all around the world. This is the kind of coin that dreams are made of, and yes, if you're lucky enough to have one, it could be worth a jaw-dropping amount. The Barber Dime series, designed by Charles E. Barber, was minted from 1892 to 1916 and is named after the man behind its classical and elegant design. These dimes feature the head of Liberty wearing a cap and laurel wreath on the obverse and a simple but timeless wreath on the reverse. The design itself is already iconic among U.S. coin collectors, but the 1894 S dime stands out not just for its beauty, it stands out for its extreme rarity. With only 24 known pieces ever minted and only 9 or 10 believed to still exist today, this coin is one of the most elusive and valuable coins in American history. So, why was such a small number minted in San Francisco in 1894? That's part of the mystery and allure of this incredible coin. Historians and collectors have debated the reasons for decades. Some believe it was a small ceremonial mintage for special purposes, possibly gifts for influential individuals. Others speculate that it was tied to bookkeeping adjustments within the San Francisco Mint. And there's even the famous story of the mint superintendent giving a few of them to his daughter, who, rumor has it, spent one on ice cream before realizing its significance. That dime has never been recovered, which means it could still be out there, waiting to be found. But let's focus on what truly sets the 1894 S. Barber dime apart for collectors: its rarity, demand, and condition sensitivity. Every known surviving specimen is tracked and documented. These coins don't just appear, they make headlines when they do. When one surfaces in an auction or private sale, the entire numismatic community takes notice. These coins are never ignored or undervalued. They're legendary, and if you're fortunate enough to encounter one, in any condition, you are staring at a piece of American coin history with the kind of value most people only dream about. There are no known mint errors on the 1894 S. Barber dime because the mintage was so small and controlled. But that only adds to its prestige. It's a coin that didn't need an error to become valuable. Its rarity alone is the error, 24 minted when millions were typical for the time. It's an anomaly that defies normal collecting logic. And because so few exist, each coin has been carefully examined, authenticated, and graded, often multiple times over. The finest known examples are preserved under intense security, but every collector fantasizes about finding one unexpectedly in an old family coin collection, a forgotten safe, or tucked away in a dusty coin album. Now, how do you identify the 1894 S. Barber dime? First, look at the mint mark. You're looking for a small S on the reverse, just below the wreath. And of course, the date on the obverse must be 1894. But be careful. There are plenty of Barber dimes from other years and mints that are common. It is absolutely essential that any 1894 S dime be authenticated by a top-tier grading company like PCGS or NGC. Counterfeits do exist due to the immense value of this coin, so professional authentication is a must. If you even think you've spotted one, get it inspected immediately, because you could be holding one of the rarest coins in American history. Let's talk about the market for this legendary dime. Every time one hits the auction block, it creates waves. These coins have sold for astonishing amounts, sometimes hundreds of thousands, and in some cases, millions depending on the condition. Collectors and investors around the globe keep an eye out for any potential appearance of this coin. It's more than just a collector's item. It's a historical artifact, a status symbol, and a high-value asset all rolled into one. And the value keeps climbing because the number of available specimens is fixed, no more will ever be made, and the few that remain are in firm hands. So, if you've ever inherited an old coin collection, or you're sifting through a vintage coin shop, or even attending a local estate sale, don't overlook those old dimes. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Keep your eyes open for the 1894 date and that tiny but mighty S mint mark. Who knows, you might just uncover one of the rarest coins in US history and change your life in the process. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, how much can this coin actually be worth? If you're lucky enough to own an authentic 1894 S. Barber 1 dime, especially in high-grade, uncirculated condition, your coin could command a stunning price of $150,000 or more. Yes, that's right, $150,000 for a dime that's smaller than your thumb, but larger than life in the world of coin collecting. Third expensive coin. We're talking about the 1974 United States 1 dime coin, a coin that millions of Americans have seen in their change, but only a few truly understand the hidden value it could carry. This isn't just another dime. In the world of rare errors and coin collecting, the 1974 dime has emerged as a modern treasure that has serious value, incredible history, and growing demand among serious collectors. Now, let's take a closer look at this dime. The obverse features the familiar and dignified portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose image has been on the dime since 1946. On the reverse, we see the classic torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. But what sets the 1974 version apart isn't the design. It's what lies beneath the surface, the rare minting errors and specific details that make some of these coins incredibly valuable and highly sought after in today's collector market. The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, which struck millions of dimes in 1974. But here's the twist: among the massive production run, a very small number of error coins slipped through, and these are what make this year and mint combinations so desirable today. One of the most famous types of errors that can be found on a 1974 dime is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted dramatically to one side. Some of these errors are so dramatic that parts of the date or lettering are missing, making them rare and valuable. Another extremely desirable error found on some 1974 dimes is the double die error. This occurs during the minting process when the die used to strike the coin hits the blank more than once in slightly different positions. This can cause parts of the design, such as the date, mint mark, or the word liberty, to appear doubled. On certain 1974 examples, the doubling is sharp, clear, and unmistakable. These are not just beautiful flaws, they're high-demand collector items that can bring in impressive bids at auction. There are also die break and die chip errors, which are known to occur in coins struck after repeated die use. These appear as raised, blob-like imperfections in the coin, and on the 1974 dime, collectors have noted unusual die chips in areas such as Roosevelt's hairline or near the torch on the reverse. While these might seem minor at first glance, rare and well-placed die chips, especially when combined with other errors, can significantly boost a coin's value, particularly if the coin is in near mint or uncirculated condition. Collectors looking for valuable examples of the 1974 dime should also be aware of planchet errors, where the metal blank used to strike the coin was flawed or improperly cut. Some of these coins were struck on planchets meant for other denominations or even on foreign blanks. When this happens, the weight and appearance of the coin can differ slightly, making it even more of a numismatic curiosity. These wrong planchet errors are extremely rare and are always worth investigating further if you spot something that seems off. Let's talk about condition, because it plays a massive role in the coin's value. A 1974 dime with one of these errors, if found in circulated condition, can still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the error. But if you happen to find one in mint state, or better yet, certified by PCGS or NGC as MS 65 or above, that's when the real excitement begins. High-grade error coins are in high demand, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are both rare and well-preserved. The cleaner the surfaces, the sharper the details, and the more dramatic the error, the higher the value goes. Recent auctions have shown a steady increase in demand for high-grade 1974 D error dimes. Collectors from around the world are becoming more aware of these hidden gems, and competition is heating up. Just in the past few years, specific examples of 1974 D Roosevelt dimes with strong doubling or severe off-center strikes have been featured at major coin shows and online auctions, commanding incredible prices. And the best part? These coins are still out there. They're in old coin jars, tucked away in forgotten drawers, or sitting unrecognized in coin albums from decades ago. What should you do if you think you've found one? First, examine the coin carefully with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the date, mint mark, and lettering. Is there any doubling? Are there unusual bumps or shapes on the surface? Is the design off-center or incomplete? If anything looks out of the ordinary, don't dismiss it. Hold on to that coin and consider sending it to a professional grading company for verification. The small investment could lead to a massive return, and here's the moment you've been waiting for. Just how valuable can this small silver-colored coin be? Well, if you're holding a 1974 D Roosevelt dime with a rare and dramatic mint error, in top mint state condition, certified and authenticated, then you could be looking at a coin worth as much as $90,000. That's right, $90,000 for a single dime that you might already have in your collection or pocket change right now. Especially, we're talking about a modern-day sleeper hiding in plain sight. Yes, today's spotlight is on the 2005 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin that you might have glanced at 1,000 times and never realized just how valuable it could truly be. Don't let the year or size fool you, because this small coin from your pocket change could potentially turn into a four-figure windfall if it has the right features. So make sure you listen closely, because the next coin you check might just be your lucky find. The Roosevelt dime has been in circulation since 1946, honoring the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was instrumental in the founding of the March of Dimes to combat polio. The 2005 P version, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, was just another yearly issue, or so it seemed. Millions were produced, and most people considered it a routine, modern coin. But hidden among the common were extraordinary errors that slipped through the minting process, and these are what elevate the 2005 P dime from pocket change to prized collectible. These rare varieties are what collectors dream of, and they're still being discovered today. So what exactly makes the 2005 P Roosevelt dime so valuable? It all comes down to specific mint errors that occurred during the production process. One of the most sought-after types seen on this coin is the missing clad layer error. In this mistake, the outer nickel layer on either the obverse or reverse of the coin is completely missing, exposing the copper core beneath. This results in a striking color difference and a coin that looks almost like a penny at first glance. If you see a 2005 P dime that looks unusually copper-toned or discolored, don't ignore it. You might be holding something special. Another high-value error associated with the 2005 P dime is the off-center strike. This occurs when the blank planchet is not properly aligned during the strike, resulting in a coin that has part of the design missing or pushed to one side. Off-center errors are dramatic, eye-catching, and extremely popular among collectors, especially when a significant portion of the design is still visible, including the date and mint mark. A 2005 P dime with a sharp off-center strike and clear date is definitely something worth sending in for grading. Let's not forget about the double die obverse DDO, varieties that collectors have been reporting on 2005 P dimes. This happens when the die used to stamp the coin was improperly engraved, creating a doubling effect in parts of the design, most notably in areas like the word liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," or even in the date itself. These double details may not always be obvious to the naked eye, but with a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass, they become clear and very valuable. Strong doubling on a 2005 P dime can command serious interest and dollars in today's market. Even smaller anomalies like die cracks, cuds, or die chips can raise the value of a 2005 P dime. especially when found in uncirculated or mint state condition. Die chips near Roosevelt's eye or mouth, or cuds around the rim, create unique patterns that turn each error coin into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Because these features were the result of wear or damage to the actual minting die, each example tells its own story, making them irresistible to error collectors who specialize in these kinds of flaws. So, how do you go about spotting one of these valuable 2005 P. Roosevelt dimes? First, start by checking the mint mark. The small P on the obverse indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, examine the coin's surfaces carefully. Is the color strange? That could indicate a missing clad layer. Are parts of the design shifted or missing? That might be an off-center strike. Use a good magnifying tool to check the text for any signs of doubling. If anything looks unusual enough to raise your curiosity, it's worth further investigation. Once you've spotted something promising, don't just throw it in a drawer and forget about it. Submit it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC for professional evaluation. These companies will authenticate your coin, grade its condition, and certify the error. That official grading can dramatically increase its value and make it easier to sell at auctions or to private collectors. Collectors prefer certified coins because they come with verified documentation, which eliminates doubts about authenticity and adds long-term security to their investments. Auction houses and online sales platforms have featured several exciting examples of rare 2005 P dimes fetching eye-opening prices in recent years. Whether it's a spectacular off-center error or a beautiful uncirculated example with clear doubling, these coins continue to gain popularity as modern error collecting explodes in interest. What's even better is that most people aren't even aware these errors exist, which means the odds of finding one in everyday change are still very real. That's the beauty of coin collecting. Treasures can be hidden in the most ordinary places. Now for the part you've all been waiting for: how much could one of these rare and valuable 2005 P dimes actually be worth? If you happen to come across a 2005 P. Roosevelt dime with a major mint error, such as a strong double die, a missing clad layer, or an extreme off-center strike, and it's in high mint state condition, graded and certified by a top-tier service, your coin could be worth as much as $30,000. Yes, you heard that right. $30,000 for a modern dime that might just be hiding in your pocket, a drawer, or your coin jar at home. Last unique coin. We're diving into the fascinating world of one of the most intriguing and sought-after dimes in recent U.S. numismatic history, the 1980 D. Roosevelt dime. While many may consider dimes from the 1980s to be just ordinary pocket change, this particular coin holds a special place among collectors and error enthusiasts alike. If you're a coin lover, you'll want to pay close attention because this dime, especially when found with certain rare characteristics, can be worth far more than its face value. So, settle in and listen carefully, because you might just have a hidden treasure waiting for you. The 1980 D dime was struck at the Denver Mint, and while millions rolled off the presses that year, a few exceptional examples stand out due to minting errors and unique features that make them highly coveted in the collecting community. These coins offer a perfect blend of history, rarity, and excitement. Unlike some older coins where scarcity is mainly about survival, the allure of the 1980 D dime lies in the fascinating errors that occurred during its production. These errors have made the coin a favorite among collectors who specialize in modern mint mistakes, and their demand continues to grow steadily in the market. One of the most notable errors that elevate the 1980 D dime to superstar status is the double die obverse, DDO. This minting mistake happens when the die used to strike the coin's front is misaligned or has a doubled image, resulting in the doubling of certain letters or numbers. In the case of the 1980 D dime, this doubling can be seen in the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," or in the date itself. This doubling isn't always easy to spot with the naked eye, but when visible, it transforms a common dime into a prized collectible. To identify this, collectors often use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the lettering and numerals closely, looking for those telltale signs of doubling, another rare but highly valuable feature that some 1980 D dimes exhibit is the off-center strike error. This occurs when the coin blink isn't perfectly aligned in the press during striking, resulting in part of the design missing or shifted off-center. What makes off-center strikes so popular is their visual appeal. They stand out immediately and tell the story of a minting process that went slightly off track. Collectors love these pieces because each off-center dime is unique, with varying degrees of misalignment, making some more valuable than others. A 1980 D dime with a significant off-center strike, but still a visible date and mint mark, is a hot commodity at auctions and private sales. The 1980 D dime also sometimes features clad layer errors, such as missing or partially missing outer layers that reveal the copper core beneath. These errors are incredibly rare and prized because they showcase an unusual mishap in the production process. Such errors create a visually striking contrast, with parts of the dime looking coppery instead of the usual silver tone, catching the eye of both collectors and casual observers alike. These coins are often found in near mint or uncirculated condition, which further boosts their value. Collectors looking to assess the value of a 1980 D dime should consider several key factors: the coin's condition, the type and severity of the error, and the coin's provenance or certification. High-grade, well-preserved examples of these error coins that have been professionally graded by organizations like PCGS or NGC typically command the highest prices. Certification not only confirms the authenticity of the error, but also provides peace of mind to potential buyers and sellers, making transactions smoother and more lucrative. Recent auction results have confirmed the growing popularity and demand for the 1980 D Roosevelt dime with errors. In fact, some certified specimens of double die or off-center strikes have sold for impressive sums, reflecting a collector base that values these unique quirks of minting history. These auction sales help establish market benchmarks, showing that collectors are willing to pay premium prices to add such rare modern errors to their collections. The excitement surrounding these coins is palpable, and the interest is only increasing as more collectors become aware of these hidden treasures. If you're out there searching through your own coin rolls, drawers, or collections, keep a sharp eye out for those unusual details, doubled letters, misaligned strikes, or strange coloration. These are the signs that your 1980 D dime might be something very special. Don't hesitate to share your finds in the comments below. Have you ever spotted an error on a dime or any other coin? We love hearing your stories, and your experiences might just help fellow collectors recognize their own hidden gems. So what's the bottom line? If you manage to find a pristine 1980 D Roosevelt dime featuring one of these rare errors and have it professionally graded, your coin could be worth as much as $60,000. Yes, that's right, a single dime, issued in the 1980s, can carry a value that would surprise even the most seasoned collectors. The blend of rarity, error uniqueness, and high demand makes this coin a true star in modern numismatics. Thank you for joining today's deep dive into the fascinating world of the 1980 D Roosevelt dime. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible coin and want more insider tips on rare coins and valuable finds, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep hunting for those hidden treasures. Sometimes the smallest coins tell the biggest stories.